You got questions going out of your mind. Someone with answers now that's hard to find. Like the what and the why and the how stuff works, or just where to go to avoid all the jerks. She's Gear Abby, Gear Abby, Gear Abby, advice that doesn't suck. Gear Abby.
Hello there, my outdoorsy friends, and welcome to Gear Abby, where we tackle the controversial, weird, obscure, and taboo topics that other outdoor podcasts refuse to touch. I'm outdoor educator and writer Shawnté Salabert, and I'm here to answer your burning questions about our relationships with outdoor people, products, places, and pastimes. And I want them all because remember, there are no dumb questions, just smart advice. All right, good friends, here is how it works. You're going to send questions to deargearabby, that's A-B-B-Y, just in case you've been spelling it wrong, at gmail.com. And I answer a couple of those questions each week here on the show with this guy, my partner in gear, the producer of Gear Abby, a very talented human being, and a man who has single-handedly exasperated every outdoor professional on LinkedIn in the last 2 weeks. That's Colin True.
I'm trying, Shawnté, all right? You know, it's
You're doing a good job.
Thank you. There's everybody has the wrong opinions. And
right.
Fortunately for our listeners, I have the right ones. No, I mean,
it's true. You're a thought leader, Colin. When I think of thought leaders in this industry, I think Colin True and Lloyd Vogel. Like when I'm thinking about LinkedIn thought leaders, it's a very specific subset.
High praise and a good company with Mr. Vogel.
That's right. I mean, he's got a couple L's in his name. You've only got the one, so.
Like I said, 2L Collins are posers.
I know. We got a 2L, 1L Colin email, which we are very excited to tackle into. We're just going to dive bomb like physically into it. Like
are you watching sports leagues?
A portal. I'm watching sports ball. It's going well. What I'm doing is not getting enough sleep every night. So.
Oh. That'll do it.
I've entered a gentle delirium.
Listeners, this is why this podcast is interesting. Sleep deprivation.
Sleep deprivation and middle age. It's great for you.
Great combo.
Oh my gosh. Well, speaking of, okay, we have to dig in. We talked about last week your LinkedIn thought bomb. I'm just going to call them thought bombs now. Is trail running a sport? You really set people off, you little instigator you. But you apparently can't stay away from the post button, sir, because I saw you posted another poll last week asking, is being outside the only criteria for something to be an outdoor activity? And I have to say, first of all, thank you for not tagging me in it this time because I don't want to be implicated in your clickbait.
That was a mistake.
It was really leave me alone. Okay. We get to do this every week. That's enough for me. No, actually, I like more, Colin. Just don't implicate me. Okay. I don't want to be an accomplice to your madness. But all right, let's talk about this because I actually kind of think it's an interesting topic. I don't know. So you had almost 100 people, I think, respond to the poll. So
not quite as successful on that front as the
still
sport, which
people,
got well into the 300s.
Did it really? That's insane.
It did. Yeah, that
Maybe
one
you said
definitely.
That last week. I forget what you say week to week.
I don't blame you.
Who are you?
Most
Why
people
are you
do.
Here?
Who is this person in front of me on a screen? Where am I?
Mysteries.
I mean, there's a little less rage baity, clickbaity in this one because I do think it's an interesting conversation. This is something, especially when I worked at a place like Polar Tech, we talked about a lot about how the landscape has changed, and you can see it in the youth, right? My kids don't. The Utes. My kids don't think of the outdoors, by the way, like you or I think about the outdoors because they've grown up their whole lives with things that fit, things that function and enable them to go outside. Not, like we grew up with I don't know if this jacket's going to keep you warm. It might.
Here's a stick. Have fun.
Go have fun. And so I think if I said to my kids or anybody else who's on the younger side, hey, what does it mean to be outdoorsy? They might give you a whole bunch of answers that nobody in sort of the LinkedIn outdoor crowd or our demo would give as well. So I thought it was curious. And I think the results kind of bear it out that it's not quite as lopsided as is trail running a sport. 54% said yes, that being outside is the only criteria for something to be an outdoor activity. Okay. So I think it's a worthy exercise. And I think it's why I do think it is worthy for outdoor brands too, is it's like, hey, you got to know who you're talking to, and what do people consider it? And if you're only showing hey, look at me on an ice axe hanging off a cliff, people, you're really limiting yourself, so that was kind of the thought behind it.
Okay, Well, that's interesting. I mean, I think, I'm thinking about REI in particular and how they, like, when they really started opening up to, I remember it was kind of marketed as like festival wear, and festival tents and things that you can leave behind broken at Coachella when you leave. But I feel like they kind of were maybe the first big brand to cross over, like really understand that outdoor means a lot of things to a lot of people. But I'm guessing, like, I'm going to ask you your own questions. So is being outside the only criteria, or like, how do you define an outdoor activity?
I mean, this is where it is a little like, I think is trail running a sport. It's like, again, and this is what you and I harp on and on about, even for all of my fish
I
shaking.
believe that's just you. You harp on it. Don't implicate me in your harping.
Well, how do you define it, right? Yeah, I do think that. I think, like, I don't want to put outdoor in a box, right? So if you're going to play, frisbee on the beach with your buddies, that's an outdoor sport. That's an outdoor activity, right? If you want to put, the restraints on it that it has to have like some level of risk, like, well, guess what? We could tell you there's a risk in just about stepping out your front door.
Listen, I've tripped and fallen on a basketball court. You don't know. Anything could happen.
Right?
Okay. I've tripped and fallen just walking down the street. So, yeah.
Right. Being out there with your buddies on the beach. So,
that's right.
Yeah, I do think that that's really the only criteria anymore.
Yeah. Well, and who does it really matter to? I don't think anybody who's actually outside doing things, like, they're too happy just doing their shit. They're not going to be like, am I doing an outdoor activity or not? It's really just a marketing thing, which I think is what a lot of things boil down to.
And I mean, that's where the more sensitive sort, which I do, as I said last week, enjoy enraging. They kind of chime in with like, "This is you're gatekeeping by dick." I'm like, no, man. Like, what is that? If anybody's going to read this post and then feel like they can't go outside, they probably weren't going to go
Colin
outside
said,
in the first place.
Well, no,
right?
Colin said I can't.
And by the way, you shouldn't. Don't go outside. It's for me.
I feel like we should just leave that there and
Okay.
let people ruminate on that. It was almost like the enforcer just got channeled back. You remember the
gatekeeper?
Gatekeeper. You know what? I feel like this is we're coming up with some alternate methods of employment here and money making. And so I think if we develop a Marvel, like our own Marvel, so we can't call it Marvel because we'll get sued, but like
Correct.
The Fantastic Four in our version, we've got the enforcer. Now we've got the gatekeeper.
Love it.
We need maybe 2 more characters, maybe 3 more, so we could be like the Furious 5 or something.
We'll come up with it, but I like the idea of the gatekeeper. Just they don't do much. They just hang out at trailheads.
That's right.
And they judge you as you walk up and go, no, not you.
Yeah.
You're okay.
Yes.
Go ahead. You're like a bouncer. They have like a security T-shirt on and like a velvet rope at the trailhead.
All right, to take us into the next segment, can you just say the gatekeeper one more time?
The gatekeeper.
Man, Colin, I know I say this probably every 3 to 5 episodes, but you should just get a job in voiceover work. I don't know.
I don't know what's holding me back. Maybe I just need to go on. I'd probably be the incredibly competitive landscape of entertainment.
Might be. We could make a Supercuts edition, though, of you saying all of these things in your special voice.
Do you need a guy who can just say one more syllable words in one tone? I'm your guy.
I know who he is. We got him. Oh man, I think that this is not, because it is more syllables. Like, I almost want you to read the opening letter in that voice, but I can't. No. I feel like that would be painful for you, maybe physically.
I think we got to save it.
Probably not
we have
spiritually, though.
For sure. Well, who knows? Maybe we don't know what's going to happen this episode. Maybe another name will come up that will bring it back.
I love it. Okay, I can only hope. So, all right. Well, why don't we dig into an actual question, which is not just you and I asking questions of each other and the internet. How about somebody else asking us a question?
We know that's what the people really want,
it's
but
what
fine.
They want.
Okay, first question today. Dear Gear Abby, when you're backpacking, how do you find or create a safe shelter for yourself when an unexpected storm moves in and there's no solid structures nearby? Love, Gear Mom! Gear Mom back on the pod.
Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, we had to get another Gear Mom in here. I very much appreciated that she sent this. And questions like this are why I think that 90% of the time I head out into the backcountry, my mom is secretly convinced that I'm heading toward imminent death.
That's the real reason behind this podcast. Look, I got to do a podcast so my mom's not worried about me.
I know. I'm sorry, Mom. Sorry, not sorry. But, maybe I can calm your fears, Gear Mom, or maybe I'm about to make them worse. I don't know. Maybe earmuffs for this.
Maybe Gear Mom is actually the gatekeeper,
She might be. Yeah, the original gatekeeper.
The
I think
original
you're
gatekeeper.
Right, which
the mother of gatekeepers.
Mother of gatekeepers. That might be, she could be an auxiliary character in when we develop the furiously fresh five.
The mother of dragons on Game of Thrones, it was originally the mother of gatekeepers, but it didn't work as well, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't flow as well off the tongue. So first of all, Gear Mom, I've got to tell you, there are actually no unexpected storms. Bad weather does not just conjure itself out of nothing. That is why meteorologists stay employed to this day. And I trust these good people. So before I leave on a trip, I do something wild called, wait for it, checking the weather. Which,
wow, sassy child of
right.
Gear Mom is
Listen,
here.
if Gear Mom's going to send it, she's got to be able to take it if she's going to dish it. I guess that's
point.
not really her dishing it, but you know. The implication
Your curiosity is dishing it, Gear Mom.
No, I think the implication is that I'm out there being unsafe. So what am I doing to play, you know? Anyway, so I will say she does know that I do a lot of multi-week trips, and it is a lot harder on those trips to track the weather. So I did mention this in a recent episode when we talked about satellite beacons and inReach and all that jazz. Using one of those with a two-way communication function or one of those dedicated weather functions, that goes a long way toward having a bit of peace of mind out there. It's another reason, and I might have even mentioned it, that's why I like to have one with me. You can get updates while you're out there and plan. Like if you know a storm's in the forecast, which I did a couple summers ago, there was remnants of, was it Hurricane Hillary or something? There was a hurricane that like swept into the Southern California and the remnants. Yeah,
that was. And then they got Death Valley got the huge kind of lake in it and everything afterwards.
Lake Manly. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that came, and I was on the trail, and I saw the update, and I was like, well, I should probably get off the trail for a day or two, which was good that I did that, by the way, because I knew a guy who got stuck in his tent for like 48 hours, and it flooded, and he just like read books on his Kindle while he was in there. Yeah, he said it sucked. So glad I went into town.
I imagine.
Loser. So that's one good reason for that. And also you just talk to other people on the trail. You know, you see a ranger, you might ask them if you know, anything I should know about. You see other hikers, any storms brewing, whatever. They might have already done the work for you. So let them do that. And you also want, in general, to kind of understand the climate of wherever you're traveling. So, for instance, like knowing when monsoon season is, if you're hiking in Arizona, Utah, New Mexico, parts of Colorado, even like far eastern parts of California, or understand like in the Sierra, afternoon storms are very common, but they're very short. So understanding kind of where you're going is good before you actually go there in general. I think it's also really important to learn how to, quote, like read the clouds. And I realize that sounds like something you do after taking a bunch of LSD in the desert or something. You know, I mean,
your mom knows what you're talking about.
She knows exactly what. Yes, right. But I think it's understanding clouds. It sounds nice, but it's also very useful because if you know what rain clouds look like versus thunderheads, and then seeing how they develop during the day, you have a pretty good indicator of what's coming your way, and when it might evolve into something more extreme, like an electrical storm or what you might call a thunderstorm. So for me, if all signs are pointing towards plain old rain, I'm generally going to just keep hiking unless it starts pouring. So I might stop and tuck away electronics, pull out my rain jacket. You know, I even have a little rain kilt now. It's very fancy. That's right. Saucy.
Rain kilt?
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. You don't have to
Gotta
have
keep that groin dry.
No, it's I don't know, whatever, Colin. Okay, the groin. Nothing
Oddly
is
specific place in your body to keep dry. I'm saying
it just adds a little extra warmth. You know what? I've never thought of it that way.
I'll tell you what I will tell you though, Shawnté, is that the rain kilt has no place on our OnlyFans channel.
Oh no! Well, we haven't. We should do a poll. Maybe that should be your next LinkedIn poll. What if we did a deargearabby OnlyFans?
Oh my God!
I hope you're really not listening, Mom. We're not. We would never do that. Don't think we would. That's a lie.
OnlyFans is where your fans are.
Only your
there.
fans
That's
go,
all
and they're
is.
just like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I
Don't
love
Google
what you
it.
do. I love the way your feet look. It's great." No reason at all. So yeah, when I'm wearing my special issue OnlyFans, actually I bought it on Garage Grown Gear, so thanks Lloyd Vogel. When I'm wearing my saucy rain skirt, yeah, I'm hiking on. I've still got some fresh flow going on in there, but honestly, I don't care about rain hitting my body all that much, except for trying to stay a little warmer because I am already sweaty as shit out there, which we all know. We've talked about it enough on this podcast. Probably why I'm single right now. But yeah, so If, and this is what Gear Mom is asking, if it even looks or feels, or if I have a spidey sense, that a storm is developing, that might be something like a darkened sky, which is a very obvious, indicator. Sudden drop in temperature, sudden drop in barometric pressure, which you would know if you have a watch. A lot of watches now have an alert for that. The wind picks up, like all of these things could be indicators, plus the development of thunderheads, which are those big puffy ones that turn into kind of anvils. They're really freaky looking, amazing clouds.
Yeah, they're so cool.
They're so cool. We should send us cloud questions.
Yes, please. I want to get an
And
expert
we'll
on
talk
talk
in
about
this
clouds.
voice. I want a cloud expert in. And I just want to talk in ASMR voice the whole time.
They're like, is this how you do your whole podcast?
Yeah.
No, just when you're
Just
here.
the cloud pod. Just the cloud episode. I want to sound like a cumulus cloud.
Is that
Do you
what
want
they
to be a
sound like?
cirrus? I don't know. No, actually, I think a cirrus probably sounds like this.
It does a little more hissy.
It's more hissy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a cumulus, though. Maybe, what does a thunderhead sound like, Colin, since you're working on your voiceover work?
Oh, you got me on the spot. I don't know. Maybe more like, I'm a cloud. I'm here. Look at me. I will get your attention with my loud noises.
Okay, that works. All right, yep. File that one when you're making your reel to
My
send
reel.
to
Yeah, exactly.
potential jobs. But yeah, so when the clouds start talking to you like Colin, then you know you're in real danger for many reasons. The LSD
Or you're on
has kicked in.
LSD.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably the biggest concern. You should just sit down and enjoy your trip. But yeah, so if here's the thing: if a storm is approaching, it doesn't need to be right on top of you for you to be in danger. So if it is a lightning storm, an electrical storm, lightning can strike from up to 10 miles away, which is way too far in my opinion. So rude, first of all. And so I'm going to say this before we dig into what you should do is that, Mom, if you have been listening, A, I'm sorry, B, really earmuffs, okay? There is no safe place to be outdoors during an electrical storm. It's just a fact. That is the thing. All you could do is try to mitigate your risk. If you cannot get to a building or a vehicle, you're going to try to wait it out somewhere. You want to avoid being in water, first of all. Sorry if you're a fish. I mean, that's a problem for many reasons. But you don't want to be in water. You don't want to be in like a big open field, a big open space where you're going to be the tallest thing, because then you are a perfect lightning rod. For that same reason, you want to avoid standing underneath the tallest things. So I remember being on the PCT and lightning hit. I think I've talked about this, one ridge over, and I start running down from this exposed ridge line. We're far above tree line, and it's me and another guy. And this guy, the very first tree he gets to, which happens to be a very tall tree, he just stands under it. He's like, okay, we're going to be safe here. I'm like, not at all, sir. You're even less safe there. So
Wow.
it's like, it just made him an even larger target,
Mm.
So I convinced him to join me under some much shorter trees a little further down. So don't do that. Also, this is going to be counterintuitive to people who don't know, but do not try to seek shelter in a cave. Don't go under a rock outcropping. There is a great book that we may have talked about at some point. Maybe it was during the books when we talked about like true crime or something, but there's a book I was going to say Into Thin Air. That is a different book about different bad things. What is it? Shattered Air, I think. It's about lightning hitting Half Dome when people were on the summit, and some people were underneath one of the rock outcrops, and they all got zapped, because what happens is rock is like a superconductor for electricity, and it just turns you are then part of the lightning. You're all just like, it's bad. That's the sound of lightning and you merging. That sound I just made.
Could get superpowers though. Can't rule it out.
Yeah, I can't. So I'm not an expert. Okay, so take everything we say on this podcast with like a pound of salt. Don't do it. Okay, just don't.
Yeah, it's a bad idea.
You won't get superpowers except for the powers of death. So yeah, and then if you're with other people, spread out so that if one of you does get zapped, the other ones aren't just being zapped by association. And there have actually been some new developments in lightning safety, which, I know science changes all the time, but one of which is that crouching is not totally necessary. Like the whole thing has always been get into the lightning stance, which is you crouch, you put your hands over your head, and then you just cry or whatever. You could still cry, okay? That's still a powerful response to this, but you don't need to squat and, balance on your backpack or anything, praying to your deity of choice. That's not really gonna do much. but sit down if you want. Just don't lay down because that does expose a whole bunch of your body to the ground. So if there is a strike, but you don't necessarily have to crouch. Just don't be laying in the middle of an open field. There's also evidence, and this was surprising to me, that metal doesn't, there's this fallacy I guess we all grew up with that metal attracts lightning. Like, come to me, come strike me.
Stands to reason, right?
Right? Yeah, no, it doesn't. So, I still would not, hold my trekking pole straight into the air. That's just me. You do you. But yeah, all right, Mom, earmuffs off. Hopefully you didn't listen to anything I said, and I'm super safe out there, I promise.
Well, Shawnté, as the gatekeeper, I want to say that if you're still using metal trekking poles, what the hell are you doing? You should have carbon fiber trekking poles, in which case you can wave them around in the lightning all you want.
Carbon fiber trekking poles. Okay, Colin. I do actually have a really nice pair by Gossamer Gear that I love, and they are a little bit of a game changer having those really light poles. So, don't wave them around. Just anyway, just don't. You don't want to make yourself taller.
There it is.
Thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
so as it turns out, don't listen to Colin unless it's him calling himself the gatekeeper, and in which case, feel free to listen to him all you want. I like that we got some real special voiceover action in that. It's one of my secret joys of recording with you is when we get to, I do an accent, you do a voiceover.
It's just nonstop, and it's great. And don't tell us that it's not great because we don't want to.
That's right. Yeah, keep that to yourself. Don't put that in your Apple review. But do leave us reviews that are nice. Please. Emotionally, we need that right now.
Kink shaming is my kink was the woman who left us.
That's what it was.
Or I assume woman. I don't know why I'm saying woman. The person who left us
the human being.
A great Apple Podcast review. So join kink shame, please.
Yeah.
Which we do not do on this podcast.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. We don't kink shame. Like if, to me, the trekking poles in the air is not a kink, but if it is.
What if that's your kink?
I know.
You got to roll back that whole last sequence.
What if your kink is being electrocuted? There is a whole subset, I think, that is into like light electrical play.
And if you're telling them that they can't go out in the lightning, then you know what you're doing. You're gatekeeping.
Oh, no. It all comes back full electrical gatekeeping circle. Damn it. Ugh. Well, Colin, help me from myself by asking me another question, please.
Oh, I think you're going to like this one.
Oh, excellent.
It's been a minute since we've hung out on Poo Corner.
Oh, yes. Bring it. Bring me to Poo Corner.
And today we return, the triumphant return to Poo Corner. Deargearabby.
We need a sound. No, we don't. Actually, I took that back.
That's way too easy to do. I mean,
carry on as you were.
You just killed about 2 hours of my week because I'm like, the pod takes really easy to edit, but I'm going to sit and just listen to sound effects for about 2 hours to find the right one. All right, Deargearabby, I've been dating my girlfriend for a year, and I can say without exaggeration that this is the most incredible relationship I've ever been in. And I honestly think we'll be together forever.
Okay.
No poo yet. All right, we're on
no,
poo watch,
I am curious about that. Okay.
The only thing is I'm a huge backpacker. I think they mean like enthusiasm, not size, I think is what they're saying. And have done a couple of through hikes and would like to do more. But even though she loves hiking and the outdoors and has done some one-night backpacking trips, she said she's not sure she wants to do more than that. So this summer when I hike the CDT? Do you think that's what they mean?
CT is probably Colorado Trail. That's
Colorado Trail.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. When I hiked the Colorado Trail, CT, she came and met me in Breck for a weekend, and that was it. Her big issues. One, she thinks it's going to feel gross and to not shower for however many days in a row.
Okay.
And two, here it is. Oh. She doesn't want to have to poop outside.
Okay.
Any advice on how I can get her to feel more comfortable and open-minded about this? I want to suggest that we hike the TRT together this summer since it's a shorter trail, but I want to do it in a way that feels good to her. Thanks, Whipsnake. Trail name, obviously, right? And then they gave their bona fides. Whipsnake's bona fides are AT23, PCT24, and CT25.
Thank you for submitting your hiker resume. We will consider you and get back to you if we figure you're a fit.
Just let me. I did a visual breakdown and a risk assessment, and I'm not gatekeeping Whipsnake.
You're not
free to hike.
But are you kink shaming Whipsnake?
Never. Not
Probably,
on this podcast.
Silently, maybe. All right. Well, yes, we're gonna assume that's your trail name. Great trail name. I'm also gonna assume that you are named after the incredible Flex Trek Whipsnake, an absolutely real piece of gear designed by the absolutely real Steve Clymer. Wink, wink. For everybody listening, if you do not know what that is, just Google Flex Trek whip snake. Colin, do you know what it is?
I don't.
Oh my God, I love this. Okay, after we
Okay.
stop recording, you have to Google it.
Okay, I will.
Click on the YouTube link. Now there are several, but whatever one you click on will be good. The original is, the icon. And just prepare to be delighted. That's all I'm saying. So anyone who doesn't know, Flex Trek whip snake. So, whip snake, we've got a few things to address here. So first, I do want to say I appreciate that you want to share something that's really important to you with this person you clearly adore and feel like you're going to spend infinity with. I also love that you want your girlfriend to feel comfortable and make sure that backpacking can feel enjoyable to her. I'm going to offer you a little something to think about, and I think Colin's going to be on board with this. She may not want to do a thru hike with you or with anybody or even by herself. And that is absolutely okay. And there should be zero pressure on your end for her to do it if she's just not interested. She does not need to explain why. She could just be like, it's not my thing. And you can be like, okay, it's my thing. That's fine. It's not your thing. Right? Like, I know you're on board with this, Colin. I feel like we talk about this. Your thing doesn't have to be your person's thing.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, I do know, I know the idea of her not being down with it might might feel huge to you. Whip snake. I'm just going to call you that from the rest of the episode. It's a Family Guy / Steve Clymer, combo deal. So I know for a lot of thru hikers, it is kind of less of a hobby than it is a full-on lifestyle. Like, people get freaky deaky about this. They're out there like most of the year hiking. Like, kudos to them. I too wish I could just be walking all year instead of, trying to earn a living doing more, sitting stuff. I'm just sitting, talking and sitting and writing. But yeah, listen, you might not feel like you can have a long-term relationship with somebody who doesn't want to hike for months on end, but that's not true. Like, I think that there's really just those few people that are at that extreme end of the spectrum. Looking at your email signature where you gave your bona fides, you've done one long trail a year for the last few summers. Okay, well, the AT and the PT are long ones, I get that, but most thru hikes are not going to be like 5 or 6 month journeys. It's probably more like, I'm going to go hike this for a few weeks here and there. Maybe keep doing one a year if that's your thing. You may have a job that won't let you do that, or you may choose a lifestyle that lets you. I don't know. But the fact that you two made it through your Colorado trail hike last year, that should be a good indicator that your relationship probably isn't doomed if she wants to sit it out this summer while you go, live out your dirtbag fantasies, right? Yeah, like, it's going to be all right, dude. But if she is open to thru hiking the TRT, which, by the way, if you're not, it's more acronym. We love an acronym. That's the Tahoe Rim Trail. If she is open to thru hiking, that's not a bad choice. It's 165 miles. It's pretty short in the scheme of things. But I would say this, like, since you said she's only done one night trips, you might want to start a little shorter even just to see how she feels for a couple nights out. So I don't know where you live, but if you were planning on being in California anyway for the TRT, maybe tack on the Trans-Catalina Trail, which is only 38 miles, 2 nights, 3 days. Like, that's a good one. Or just pick a 2 or 3 day, like 5 day, whatever, like somewhere in there, 3 to 5 days stretch. Anywhere close to home that you like. Like, I get the appeal of hiking a named trail, and people really have this in their heads that it only counts if I'm through hiking a trail from start to finish and it has a name and it has an acronym and blah, 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 whatever. Who gives a shit? Are you having fun out there? Okay, enjoy your backpacking, okay?
By the way, Catalina, like, that's actually, for an admitted non-camper, that is very intriguing to me because of the access to amenities.
That's true. You can eat there. There's like at least 1 or 2 places you can buy food along the way, like restaurants. Yep. And you might see some bison.
And they probably have bathrooms.
Yeah, but did I mention the bison?
Yes, there is bison.
Do you know what you should not do, though? Don't pet the bison.
Oh, no, you can pet the Catalina bison. That's fine.
No, you can't. We might need to start getting a lawyer involved in this podcast. Just assume whatever Colin says is probably not right.
It's a fair assumption.
It's inspiring, I understand. But no petting the bison. But you probably could. I think you can actually get bison burgers at one of the places. That sounds a little morbid, but
delicious.
Yeah, don't make them yourself, though. Okay, so yeah, it doesn't need to be a named trail. Just go take her out for a few days, see if she digs it. So if she's open to it, let's get into those 2 things you mentioned. So first of all, being dirty, I get it. That is a turnoff for a lot of people. A lot of people do not want to feel like Pigpen from Peanuts day in and day out. But you don't have to be a total dirtbag when you're out there. We've talked about this. I'll just remind you, water exists. I mean, unless you're out on the Arizona Trail in a drought year, or we're living in a near future where we've screwed up the climate so bad that we're living in a Cormac McCarthy nightmare, in which case through hiking will be the least of your worries.
True.
But yeah, water generally exists. You know what else exists for now? Baby wipes, bandanas, bidets, tiny eyedropper bottles in which you can place whatever quantity of Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. It's easy. A lot of people stay clean out there. In fact, back in 2015, I was on the PCT. I met a guy at Kennedy Meadows whose trail name was, I shit you not, Mr. Clean. I think there's probably at least one Mr. Clean every year on any given trail. This man wore a white button-down shirt, and it was immaculate every single time I saw him. Like, I saw him probably for another few weeks after that, on and off on the trail. And I asked him, I was like, how are you doing this? Are you an alien?
Were you wearing your disgusting sun hoodie when you encountered him?
Absolutely. No, I think at that time I was wearing a button down that was hideous. And it already had holes in it. It was just bad. It was lots of like layers of sweat rings. Real sexy stuff. I was just like, dude, how? Can you tell me your secrets? Not that I'm going to do any of it, but can you tell them to me? And he just said, he's like, listen, I just make it a point every night when I get into camp, one of my chores is washing my clothes and washing myself every single night. And if he dry camped, which is when you camp somewhere where there's not a water source, he was just like using a bandana and he carried a little extra water. It was a commitment to the cause. You know, he's like, I am playing the part of Mr. Clean real hard here. So personally, I always look like the sweat-crusted bottom of somebody's shoe, but perhaps Mr. Clean can serve as a little inspiration for your lady, you know?
Off the trail as well. So
I do not, damn you. A pox on your mustache.
It's gone.
It is gone, actually. It's because I pre-poxed it. That's right.
Oh, that's why.
That's right. I was busy earlier. Yeah, I was pre-poxing. So, okay, now the main event. We got to talk about pooping. So I've been waiting for this way too long. I think it's actually Whipsnake. It's you and I who are probably the outcasts here because I think most people who use flush toilets on a daily basis are just not used to doing their business outside. And they're not even used to squatting to do it, even if they use one of those little stools, which are really great, by the way. It's a position that people use around the world. Like, it is a very common way to use the bathroom is to squat into a hole, whether it's a porcelain hole or a hole in the ground. So I'd say, first of all, let's talk about comfort. Like, remind your girlfriend that walking around with your butt all puckered up and feeling like you gotta drop some kids off at the pool, it is not a comfortable way to hike. Like, it's not going to be enjoyable. There's nothing worse than having to hold it when you know you have to go. She's going to feel so much better if she just channels her inner Elsa from Frozen and lets it go.
Gotta let it go.
You can tell her to sing that if you want. You could play it for her, maybe on a small. Actually, don't. I hate speakers in the backcountry.
No. You just found the use for the Bluetooth speaker.
That's the one and only use I will sanction. Okay, that, and if my friend did, this is a sidebar. You know, we love a sidebar. My friend Mayon actually played a madrigal for me once because she made me corn in a chalice. It's a long story. It has to do with the Renaissance Fair, but we were backpacking and she made me corn in a cup, and she played a madrigal while she presented it to me. She also gave me a flower crown to wear while I ate it. So
these are the
only
where it's acceptable.
Yeah, this is the only time you can use a Bluetooth speaker.
And if anybody gives you shit for it, you can say, I'm taking a shit, and that's why it's playing.
That's right. It's my inspiration music, okay?
Exactly.
Sometimes we need a little, it's like your workout playlist, but for pooping.
You have a choice. You can listen to this music I'm playing, or you can listen to the other thing that's happening. What do you
want to listen to? You can my music is actually just going to be you saying maybe you could be the gatekeeper. What would be you need a poo name now.
I don't want a poo name.
I want you to
Cat
have one.
hole.
No, I'll come up with something better for next week. Oh, wow. I'm delighted just thinking about that. We can end the podcast here. All right. Well, but here, okay. I'm gonna answer the rest of Whipsnake's question. So you could give her another little bougie thing besides the musical accompaniment, and you could create like a little bespoke potty kit for her. You get her a Kula cloth. We love it. I've got probably 10 at this point. Get her a cool trowel. I personally love the Deuce of Spades. For the name alone, right?
Yeah,
but
seriously.
also it's a really great trowel. The Tent Lab makes it. Get her some nice smelling hand sanitizer if you want, a little bag to hold it all. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but given her squeamishness, I'd actually hold off on getting her a bidet at first and just pop a pack of wet wipes in there, and a little baggie so she can carry them out. But
you're already trying to get over the hurdle of going. You don't want to add a complicated
and
system,
now,
right?
Learn how to shower your butthole.
Yeah, that's right.
Nah. Just the wipes. Just get a bunch of wipes, put them in there. That's going to help a lot, I think, is her realizing, This isn't that bad. And also the caveat here is without actually pooping yourself, you can model some of the things she can do, okay? Without actually pooping.
You can model the pooping part too if you want.
All right, we don't kink shame, but we're not going to
That's
talk about it. We draw a hard line there. But listen, you can, first of all, show her, here's how far you actually have to walk away from the trail. It's considerable enough. No one's going to see you. Like, show her how to scan the horizon to make sure no one's watching. We've talked about that before during the shark question. Show her how to dig the hole, how to cover it up afterwards, and then demonstrate. It's going to sound weird, but just demonstrate some of the common positions. Like, there's the yoga squat, the classic, right? Then there's the supported yoga squat. Do you know what that is?
There's no kink shaming. There's no kink shaming. There's no kink shaming.
You love doing this podcast with me. You learn something new every time, don't you?
I do.
Like
I
the
certainly
supported
do.
yoga squat pooping position.
Yeah. Is that where you support yourself in a yoga squat?
It's yeah. I mean, you hang on or like press down on something. So usually it's a rock, a log. You can use your trekking poles. I've actually used my own trowel sometimes just as like a stabilizer in front of me.
Press down while bearing down.
That's basically right. Okay. I mean, when I was a newbie, I also really appreciated having a log, so either like a tree I could lean against or a log that I could kind of position my tailbone on, like a floating toilet.
So you need a log for your log.
That's also right. Wow.
I'm just yes-anding your words. That's all.
Yep, you're just summarizing. It's like having AI here with me in the booth. Listen, Whipsnake, just try to normalize it for her and tell her everybody does it. You get her the book, everybody poops, everybody farts, everybody does it. And a lot of people do it outside and she's going to be okay. It's actually, I think it's liberating to poop outside. I actually I have a hard time coming back from a trip and being like, oh, I must find a toilet now. Like, I wish I could just squat and pee. No, I do actually really like using a toilet when I get home to poop, But yeah, dude, get out there. I mean, after you do all that, even if she doesn't feel more comfortable, she's probably gonna be laughing her ass off. So that is a win. Okay, buddy? That's a win.
There is a thing here though, and it's interesting because like in my family, I have a kid who has been like day one camping as a little kid, like totally fine pooping wherever. Nice. And then other ones, and my wife included, who are just not into it. Even like we're on a river trip and like using the groover. There's a mental block for some people.
Oh yeah.
To just can't get over the fact, even though it's like, I just go like, you're going to feel better.
Have you tried demonstrating for them?
Oh, all the time. But I mean, that's usually when we're at home. But
have you played soothing music?
But it's funny how like sometimes it's like an irrational block for some folks and it's hard to get over. Even when they do go and it's like, oh, I'm so glad I went. It's still not like, oh, now I can do that again. It's like the next time will also be challenging. It's funny. Yeah. It's a weird thing.
No, it is. And I think in general, especially Americans, we have a lot of hangups about our bodies in general. And we're taught to like hide things. And that's one of the reasons I love doing this podcast is we can demystify some of this stuff. But it's also totally normal to feel squeamish and weird about it. Like, again, you know, all you could do is all you can do. And if she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't want to do it. And, remember at the end of the day, everybody shits, but not everybody backpacks, and that's okay.
Remember, Gear Abby says, if you hide your turd, remember where you put it.
Never said that, but I don't mind it. Today's episode of Gear Abby is presented by the one, the only, the most delightfully alliterative outdoor retailer in the game, Garage Grown Gear. You want to see the latest and greatest coming from the coolest and newest outdoor brands? I know you do. You're going to head over to garagegrowngear.com, click on that new button, and all shall be revealed. So that's what it's going to sound like that. Maybe not in real life, but in your head, because you've hired Colin and Shawnté, the voiceover experts.
That's right.
Navigate your online experience.
Call back.
Listen, this week's treasures include stuff for the GPS lover in you, like the Coros Apex 4 Sport Watch and the Garmin InReach Mini 3 Plus. That's a lot of words and also very relevant for today's episode. Shockingly, there's also more Alpha Direct because we are fiends for the stuff. Big Agnes is making your evenings cozier with an Alpha Direct sleeping bag liner, and honestly, I have never wanted anything more in my life.
Are you excited to know about that now?
I really am. Thank you for looking that one up, Colin. Yeah, I think I've wanted nothing more in my life other than maybe world peace. And finally, listen, Coros, Garmin, Big Agnes, those are all pretty big names, but Garage Grown Gear is probably best known for carrying the lightest and most innovative brands and products you will find this side of your gear closet. Like who, you ask? Well, how about Tokes and their titanium long-handled spoon or long-handled spork, so you can avoid coating your entire fist in whatever you're eating for dinner at camp. That's right. Whether you're an ultralight backpacker or just an outdoorsy person who wants to see outdoor innovation at its best, you'll find something to love when you head to the official gear shop of Gear Abbey, garagegrowngear.com. Oh man, listen, I'm still riding the high off that poo question. It's the first one we've had in a while. So I just gotta say thank you again, Whip Snake. You are a real one.
We all know that you get high off of poo. So
that's not exactly what I said, Colin.
I think it's exactly what I can play it back for you. We're recording this.
The words came out of my own mouth. I know what I said. Don't gaslight me, Colin. Anyway, how about you do your job instead, which is reading another question.
Okay, we have a bit of an industry question today.
Oh. All right. Is this the guy who was looking for a job just writing again?
I don't think
sending us a fresh resume?
I'm just hoping it's an opportunity to shake my fist. Those clouds haven't gotten a good down dressing in a second here, so maybe we'll see.
Okay, I'm sending good vibes to you, okay? I'm not.
All right. Third question of the day. Dear Gear Abbey, my ties to the outdoor gear industrial scene are more limited than 1L Collins. I think that's a shot at me.
I think so.
2L Collins are posers. I will stand by it, and I will always stand by that. However, I was there long enough to learn lots of arcane insider stuff, including the fact that no answer at darn tough customer support likely meant they'd stepped out for a toke. Well,
makes me like them even more. Yeah,
yeah, they are in Vermont. I mean, right. I think it's like that might just be the
rule.
The law there.
Yeah, it's part of your business license there when you get it.
Perhaps influenced by that, I wear mostly darn toughs these days. All right, good for you. With a few fits sprinkled in, thanks to the Rock Fight RIP, former sponsor of the Rock Fight. Fits were open for business here in Gear Abbey if you want to jump on.
We're ready for it. Love socks.
Thus, to my question, how has a Vermont sock company survived while outdoor industry titans such as Osprey and the Fotenauer family, is that who owns Osprey?
That sounds right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Osprey Fotenauer. I know that guy.
That's my favorite brand. It's a merger.
Have been forced by market conditions to move production overseas. Hell, Patagonia admits that half of their shit is made overseas. Oh boy. Okay. A little bit of a...
Is your fist vibrating a little bit?
Well, come on. It's
I don't even know what the question is, to be honest.
Sorry,
is there a question? He said it was a question.
Yet, Darn Tough continues to offer lifetime guaranteed socks made in Vermont. That is true. And provides jobs to Vermonters who make quality stuff. That is also true. Vermont, barring a future executive order, is in the USA. Respect there. Isn't that impossible? This seems like an Owen Comerford question and could involve things like margins and markets, but maybe Partner in Gear Colin can simplify it for me. Signed, TD. Oh, I can simplify it for you. No.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, I think first of all, the outdoor industry nerds miss the Rock Fight. So
of course they do. It was the best podcast ever.
Okay. Well, we did tell them they could write in these questions, so
That's your fault.
It is my fault. So apologies to everyone listening. But if you asked me, TD, I was the one answering this question, I would just say, I have no idea how Darn Tough is able to keep production in the USA. And then I would pivot to, but man, people sure seem to like them. And then I might add, even though they don't make socks with individual toes, which is my personal preference. And then I might turn to our old buddy here, 1L Colin, and I would say, dude, what do you think? But we're not going to do that. Sorry, Colin. Maybe you can pontificate afterwards. But
I'm just vibrating with anger over here.
You just sit over there and shiver in your recording booth. We are going to go straight to everyone's favorite outdoor industry wonk for an answer to this one. That is Owen Comerford. Who
is this like a Beetlejuice situation where the reader invokes Owen and now you are?
If we say it 3 times, it's going to happen. He's going to appear. So for everyone listening, if you're not familiar with Owen, he's not only very good at Wordle, but he is also the former CEO of Moose Jaw and perhaps more importantly, former consigliere of the Rock Fight. He runs Outsize Consulting, where he works on growth strategies with badass outdoor brands like Livesing, Nara, Thicket, You Were, Wild Rye, keep going. And he's the host of the brand new Outdoor Unfiltered podcast, which will be very exciting for people who enjoy smart analysis of industry news and who love listening to Owen whisper sweet nothings about tariffs. Welcome to Gear Abbey, Owen. So good to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I've been listening to Gear Abbey since the early days, and I'm very honored to be a guest on your pod. I'm not following any kind of questions about poop, though. That's my one requirement.
Yeah, no, you are. Yeah. That's that was our requirement actually to have you on the show. So
I think we saved that question specifically for this moment.
Yeah, it could have been worse. That's all I'm saying. Okay. It could have been a worse question. This one's pretty tame in the scheme of poop questions.
All right. I guess I'll just have to listen to the pod when it comes out and see what the heck we're talking about here.
That's right. As you've been doing since the early days.
Exactly.
You said you were an early adopter. So hold that in your heart. So listen, if I'm boiling TD's question down to its essence, so when so many outdoor brands have had to go overseas for manufacturing, I mean, that's pretty much the norm. Like, how the hell has Darn Tough managed to keep theirs going in the land of Ben and Jerry's and Bernie Sanders? And Owen, if you could do me a favor and please answer in a way that people who don't read Bloomberg can understand, that would be great.
So it's all about labor cost and productivity, right? So socks are made all socks are made of computerized knitting machines. And these things just pump out the socks. Brum, 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 brum. And really, from a labor perspective, one person can oversee 50, 60, even 70 machines. So the labor cost per sock is super low. And it's really the labor cost that is what drives the efficiencies of being overseas versus here. So you compare that to like cut and sew, which would be clothing and apparel, or even packs, those sort of packs and bags, that kind of stuff. Those are very, very labor intensive. And so there's a much bigger efficiency to being overseas for products like that versus something that's almost all machine made.
So you're saying if I want to start my own outdoor business, I should start with socks, just like American Eagle branded, like rah USA, get myself a sock machine and just start a sock empire?
Pretty much, yeah.
Would you?
We don't have nearly enough sock brands in the outdoor industry.
We don't, yeah. And there's just so many feet out there, so it feels like a real. Could I consult with you and outsize? Would you help me with growth and profitability, Owen?
I would love to do that. And for you, Shawnté, you would be part of the pro bono program.
So. Okay, I can't wait. So, Colin, we might have to put the OnlyFans on hold, or we could wrap the OnlyFans into a sock manufacturing company. And it's like for people with a foot fetish.
Look, we all know the kind of work you get from pro bono. So I think we want the OnlyFans to fund our outsized consulting business is what we're going to do.
Well, we'll help you. You help us. We'll help you. So is there anything else about Darn Tough? Because I do think they have kind of a unique model. I mean, they have that whole thing where people and thru hikers love this in particular, but you stop in a trail town and you've got a hole in your Darn Toughs. As long as the store is part of the exchange program, they can get a new pair of socks. So is there anything else that really drives Darn Toughs? I think they're kind of, not to talk about domination in the sock market, but maybe that can also, maybe it can also be part of the OnlyFans. What else is part of their special sauce? Why are they such a sock dominator?
Well, just because of the fact that they do have such a strong brand and such a strong reputation, they've got the pricing power to where they can charge $12, $15, $18, $20 for a pair of socks, right? And so the marginal impact of an extra, 25 cents of labor here versus overseas is really washed out by the fact that they have that pricing power. If you're making socks for Walmart or for mass retail, that's where it really those pennies really add up, and maybe you can't make it work in the US. But for a premium player like Darn Tough, you absolutely can.
I like that, a premium player. This is people listening now are like, who is this guy? If they don't know you, and people who do know you are like, this is very restrained for Owen.
Oh, and do you find it in terms of competitive landscape, because you have Smartwool's probably still the dominant, merino wool sock in the outdoor industry, but aren't the retail price points fairly comparable between Smartwool and Darn Tough? And Smartwool does manufacture overseas, right? They are not a U.S. producer. So do they have better margins because of that?
Hopefully so. And there are quite a few sock brands there that are US based. I'd say it's a little bit split. And I think Smartwool does have some US based manufacturing as well. If I'm not mistaken.
I don't know if they still do. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think most of the premium players are made here for that reason. Although obviously they're importing a lot of the wool at this point as well.
Yeah, all those international sheep. So here's a question, kind of, I'm going to riff off of this one for a second. But so you're saying, I get what you're saying here. You get your little knitting machines, you make some socks, you're having a good time. You got to lower, you can pump up the prices, you got whatever, it's all working. So does this mean that there are options for other outdoor brands to bring their manufacturing back to the U.S.? Are we going to see a boom? I mean, is there going to be a wool sock factory in every town?
Maybe on the sock front, although it's very, very expensive, right? So yes, the incremental cost per sock is low, but those knitting machines cost a shit ton of money, right? And that is kind of the issue, I think, with the current administration and their policies in terms of bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. is the manufacturing that does work in the U.S. is very capital intensive, i.e. you've got to pay a lot of money to get machines because you can't afford to pay the labor rates here versus overseas. So it's a lot of money. And you're not going to do that if you don't know what the tariff is going to be a day from now, a week from now, or whatever, right? I mean, just look at, recently the Supreme Court just knocked down tariffs. So if you had been planning on bringing back a whole bunch of manufacturing to the U.S. based on the fact that you were paying these big tariffs, well, guess what? Those tariffs went away. So it's so hard for folks to make those manufacturing decisions to bring stuff back here. Not to mention that like in the areas that we talk about in the outdoor industry, which is again a lot of cut and sew, garments, packs, bags, etc. A lot of that labor actually is immigrant labor that is also evaporating based upon the policies of the current administration. So,
Right.
The whole tariff thing being all about bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. is completely bullshit. I mean, it just is. It isn't working. It's all about just having a cudgel to be able to go out and swing something around. And basically
an unspecified something.
Yes, an unspecified something to basically try to bully other nations into doing what we want them to do. That's really what the whole tariff thing is about.
And if there's anybody that could explain this and I could be like, yes, you are correct, it is you, Owen.
And thank you. I don't have to shake my fist anymore. You took care of that.
You don't want to swing a something, though? You could swing a something. An unspecified something.
We don't have the OnlyFans up and running yet, Shawnté. All right.
But Owen, you're invited to join us when that time comes. We will use it to pay for your labor. So keep your labor costs down.
That would be the ultimate sock influencer program, I think.
Right?
Yeah, get the Red Hot Chili Peppers on board, right? They're, they're famous for that.
Listen, Darn Tough Fits. I would welcome you both to join in this endeavor in Gingy if you want. I know I can never say your name right, but I love you.
You did it.
No, that's because I have to think about it for a good 5 seconds every time before I say it now, because I cannot be embarrassed on a podcast anymore. Well, Owen, one final question is from me. Very important question. What's your favorite outdoor sock, Owen, for all your outdoor activities?
Oh. Wow. Okay. So I'm actually a smart wool person, mainly because like almost everything else that I wear, I got them for free. So
I love the honesty. Okay.
And that's how you know he works in the outdoor industry.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. Well, Owen, it was lovely to have you. I'm so excited to dig into your new pod. Again, for people who are listening, that is Outdoor Unfiltered. You're going to get more Owen. Maybe no poop talk, I'm sorry to say, unless he has me on. We could talk about big bidet anytime you want. Okay. Big trowel, like big teepee, anything. But yeah, Owen, thanks so much for joining us today, demystifying the world of domestic socks. And all right. Well, have a lovely rest of your day. May your feet always be cozy.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for this episode of Gear Abby. Until next time, send your burning questions about your relationships with outdoor products, people, places, pastimes, and poop over to deargearabby@gmail.com, and I'm going to do my best to answer them or find somebody else like our consigliere, Owen Comerford, who can. And of course, head over to your podcast listening service of choice and subscribe, rate, and leave a lovely review about kink shaming or not kink shaming. And make our day. Follow us on Instagram at GearAbbyPod if you are so inclined. In the meantime, today's episode was produced by David Karstad and this dude, Colin True.
The gatekeeper!
Why did you say it like that?
Because I knew it would make you laugh.
You did. And also, you're showing your range, so thanks.
Yeah, that's right. You got to go high sometimes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Art direction provided by Sarah Gensert.
Love it. Show tunes all about. Show tunes abound.
I don't even like show tunes. I'm Shawnté Salabert, and remember, there are no dumb questions, just smart advice.